What's up, guys? Knowledge is determination. So, I watched a great video about 7A, talking about the what is it? The real side chicks of whoever the fuck. Yeah. So he mentioned a couple of things in there that made me that inspired me to actually do what I'm doing now. And it reminded me, and while I was pondering on what he had said in his video, I started thinking about a situation with a homeboy of mine. And basically, I just want to talk today about how to not cheat on your woman, how to remain faithful to your woman. And this is for guys who actually love their woman. If you don't love your woman, you just kind of like her, you know what I'm saying? Or you just, you like certain things she does. This doesn't apply to you, because no matter what anybody tells you, it's not going to work, especially if you don't love this woman. I mean, if she's the type of woman, not saying that you have ever done this, but if she is the type of woman that you can let your guard down around, you can leave your phone around this woman and she won't touch it. You understand? She's a woman who you can say cry, because men like to, play like they don't really have emotions or aren't in touch with their emotions. A woman who you can cry in front of, a woman who is basically, say, your best friend. Basically, she is your best friend, and you'll do anything you can to preserve what you have with this person. This is the type of woman that I'm talking about. Somebody who you look at and you're like, wow, I can see me being with this woman for the rest of my life. I know I've given enough examples at this point, so I'll continue on. But that's the type of woman I'm talking about. How do you go about not cheating on this woman that you want to spend the rest of your life with and have kids by, so on, and be your partner? I would say, one, if you're really serious and dedicated to this. Now, there are varying degrees of severity when it comes to these different things, intensity and so on and so forth. But I personally, when you, especially when you're older, you're in your 30s, you might have kids, stay out of singles bars. Stay away from things that single people do. There's no need for it. It's not necessary. You know what I'm saying? Because single people go to places so they can meet other single people. You understand? They're looking for somebody they can date. They're looking for somebody they can hit and quit it that night, or they're looking for a regular, what I'm saying, late night jump off type of situation. Whatever the situation is, you don't go to, like, for instance, you don't go to McDonald's, you know what I'm saying, looking to eat a healthy meal. You go to McDonald's, you know what you're getting. Shit on a bun, basically. And the same thing with singles clubs. A married person who's happy at home doesn't go to a place where single people are looking for someone to spend time with or whatever. So stay out of those places, man. It's not necessary. And if you feel as though you can hang in those places and you're mentally, you're mentally stable and strong, you have a strong will and determination, sure, whatever. But I would limit my activities and access to those places. Don't go to those places by yourself, especially if you're with a group of friends or whatever. Okay, that can be an exception, especially if you have a group of real friends, close friends, brothers who aren't going to, go ahead, you know what I'm saying? If y'all were ever fans of DMX.
I'm trying to fuck with these bitches, I'ma show you how. But who?
Y'all remember that lyric? If you have friends that are like that, you might want to switch your friends. And that's another thing also. Change out your friends. You may not want to let certain people go out of your circle, but it may be necessary, to limit your involvement with them or limit your activities with them. Because again, sometimes you can even be guilty by association. If you got a friend who's a straight dog, a dude that's a player that's always, knocking something new out of the park. You know what I'm saying? Like you might want to limit your activity with that dude, because if you're hanging with somebody who has a reputation, like they say, birds of a feather flock together, and that's true. Even if you haven't at this point, you may eventually be very, very tempted to do so. So have a good group of friends, people who have a sense of morality and strong integrity. You understand what I'm saying? Surround yourself with people like that, like-minded individuals. You understand? I'm not telling you to get rid of your friends, but there's certain things that you just can't do with certain people. And if you're trying to remain true to your woman, stay away from people who will be devil's advocate and try to encourage you to do certain shit. You understand? Now, another thing, and this is for all my men out there. This isn't a lightweight conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. If you say you do all of those things, you stay away from certain spots, or you've cut out your nightlife altogether, you switched your friends around, or, you've just limited the activities that you do with certain friends to keep yourself out of very precarious situations or situations where you could be implicated, You've done all those things, but you still have those urges. Because you're a man. You see, a beautiful woman, somebody who is very physically attractive to you. You know what I'm saying? The first thing you start imagining is what she looks like with her clothes off. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you don't want to get too carried away with your thoughts, Maybe, sometimes seeing and observing is one thing. Fantasizing is something else. You see, you observe, like, man, she's whatever, and then you keep it moving. It takes years to develop the the wisdom, the maturity to notice it and keep it moving. I see it, I looked at it, bam, or I notice it and I'm good, and I'm gonna keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're with your woman. Don't let your woman, the woman you love and who believes that you want to be with her for the rest of her life, see you eyeballing other chicks. Because for some women, that could be a deal breaker, man. You're going to have to do a lot of explaining when you get home on why you were doing that. So to avoid those kinds of conversations, if something happens to pass your line of sight, you can't help but see it, but don't turn with it. You understand? Don't gawk at it. You understand? Don't allow it to distract you. Like if you're in mid-sentence, and you're like, yeah, baby, so I was thinking about getting the collard greens instead of the pre-washed spinach. And all of you guys know what I'm talking about. And then your girl smack you in the head or punch you in the arm. You like, oh, what the fuck was I talking about? Dude, like, you can't be that stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be that dumb. But you can still take it in and not get carried away with it. You know what I'm saying? But don't go out scanning the area for chicks. You don't do that. You can't help what passes your visual. You can't help that. You can notice it, but don't gawk. Don't stare. Noticing is one thing, because your girl notices the same shit you notice about her. You understand? Because your girl probably has features like this chick you're looking at. So she knows what you like. So she knows what you're looking at. You understand? But again, what you notice is one thing versus what you stare at. So try to become more disciplined with those kinds of things. If you don't want the arguments later, you'll do what it takes to avoid having them. Like if you go out in the rain and you don't want to get your new jacket, your new shirt wet, you'll always remember to carry an umbrella. So that's what I have to say so far as that part is concerned. Now, about the urges, the physical desire, because looking is one thing, staring and looking at and staring at women like some lecherous old man or whatever, that can just be uncomfortable for everybody. And you want to break yourself out of that habit because, depending on the company you work for, that can be seen as sexual harassment. So you definitely want to break yourself out of that. Notice, but don't stare. You understand what I'm saying? Notice it, but don't stare. That's it. And keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? There's close to 7 billion people on the planet. You're always going to see sexy ass chicks. You just gotta fucking get over it. You know what I'm saying? Just get over the fact that they're there. Notice them and keep it moving. You're not missing anything because 5 minutes later you're gonna see something else. Especially at the mall, the supermarket. It's a given. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, moving along. Also, I want to say this as well. That's weird. Sorry about that. I also want to say this as well. For those physical desires, I'm telling you, because those don't always go away. As a man, you sometimes you get urges, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you got to kill the urge. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might have to go in the bathroom and rub that easy one out. You feel me? I'm not gonna be too vulgar with my descriptions, but you might have to go and rub that easy one out. You kill the urge, you kill the desire. You can get back to not thinking about things that's gonna fuck up your relationship. Your woman will appreciate it. She may not appreciate the fact that you rubbing one out. You know what I'm saying? Because women don't really understand it. Maybe if you explain it to them, some women will get it, but I would say don't let her find out about that either, because that can turn ugly for you. Your woman is thinking, oh, you in the bathroom doing this or whatever, or I caught you doing that, and you're looking at this image or that image or this video or so on and so forth, and this is what turns you on. Oh, I'm not enough. And it may not even be about that. You know what I'm saying? It may just, we're men, we're visual creatures. Sometimes we need that visual stimuli. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing you naked, for instance, or watching you, you know what I'm saying, top me off. That might be enough. That might be what does it for a certain guy, whatever. They don't understand that a lot because they're so worried about their emotions and their ego that it may sound like bullshit to her, and it could be the truth. Like, look, it's not that I'm desiring this woman here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fantasizing about her. That's why I need to look at it. You know what I'm saying? When you catch me without something visual and I'm in my head doing this, yeah, then you should be worried, But don't actually tell her that. Don't give away all your fucking secrets. You feel me? Keep some shit to yourself. But anyway, do that shit when she's not home. Rub that easy one out. You know what I'm saying? Because when your woman's not around, it's more than likely when you're going to get the urge to want to probably call up that homegirl you met the other night, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it may be, or go cruising in it, or whatever the fuck it is you do. All I'm saying is you want to keep yourself out of the dumb shit. You want to preserve what you have with your woman. Try these things, Stay away from places, people, things, and situations that may be tempting for you. Stay out of those situations, Friends, change your friends, change your lineup, or change how you associate with certain individuals, Those things can get you into trouble. Also, the third thing, you may want to try real hard on noticing versus staring and ogling a female, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you're out with your woman. Practice it when you're by yourself, because if you can do this when you're alone, you'll definitely be able to do it with your woman. You know what I'm saying? Without a doubt, you'll be able to do it with your woman. Keep your phone with you or something like that. Focus on, if you're watching a video, watching a fight or something like that or whatever, focus on that. Don't even pay attention to the surroundings. Only pay attention to your girl. You know what I'm saying? Because trust me, it helps. It'll help. It'll play a difference. It'll play a part. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? But and the last thing, if you want to kill that urge, you know what I'm saying? You want to kill that urge. Sometimes it helps to rub that easy one out, man. In order to do so, you might have to rub that easy one out. So those are 4 steps that I just came off the top of the head with. You know what I'm saying? These are things that I've seen work for some guys. These are some things that have actually worked for me, because I don't want to mess up my relationship. I don't want to do that at all, and most of you don't either. But it's about your maturity level, man. It really is. It's about your maturity level. Don't get hung up feeling as though you have to conquer every woman that you come across or every woman that you feel as though you desire. Because, I'm going to tell you right now, for myself, this may not be true for everybody else, but I had to get to this point. And, having those same urges and desires as other men to want to basically score with multiple women, that's what you want to do. I've grown to the point to where, though, I know there's not a whole lot of difference. You know what I'm saying? I mean, good-ish is good-ish. You know what I'm saying? If it's good, it's good. And with women, you know what I'm saying? What makes it good for them If it's good for them, it's gonna be good for you. If you can stimulate her mentally, you golden. That's why for me, most I would say 99.9% of the chicks that I've been with, it's always been good. And comparing it is always the same level of good because of how I stimulate the women that I'm with. I don't have that issue, but that's just me. It could be different for you. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you messing with a chick and her stuff don't, her stuff don't get moist, you know what I'm saying, because of you, then it's because of you. I'm gonna tell you straight up and down. But yeah, man, I mean, if you haven't had a lot, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. That is not a dream to chase. STDs, all that kind of, that is not a goal to chase. That is not something to be desired. You know what I'm saying? Hindsight being 2020, if I had known then what I knew now, I probably would have only been with maybe just a handful or maybe 2 handfuls of chicks. Knowing what I know now. But that's neither here nor there. But that is all I have to say about that. If that's what you want to do, if you want to be faithful to your woman, try those things. I'm gonna repeat these things. Step 1, or the first thing, not step 1, but the first thing you do is you limit your extracurricular activities. As you grow, your interests and things that you like should change anyway. If you're 30, 40, 50 years old and you still fiending to go to the club, you probably really want to do some internalization and self-reflection, But if you're a mature man, and you're trying to build for the future, you understand, which is why you're probably looking for a way to keep your woman and not throw her away or keep her at arm's length or make her want to leave you. So change your activities, change the things you do. Or moderate them at least. You know what I'm saying? You want to go out and hang out with your boys at a single spot? Don't do that every weekend. Got to change certain things. Number 2, change your friends. Change the level of association. Change the amount of association. Change who, what, when, where, why, and how you associate with these people. You got to make changes. You know what I'm saying? Because all of this is about your mental. Number 3, and again, I stress practicing this when you're not with your woman. Practice being more focused on, not feeling as though you have to follow and undress every woman with your eyes. Again, if you notice it, that's cool. You can't help what crosses your path. But don't follow it with your eyes. Don't stare, don't gawk. Don't do that. Again, it's going to take practice. Do this when you're by yourself. If you need to distract yourself with your cell phone or whatever, then do that. Do that. But practice this first. If you can get this done, if you can do this with yourself, if you can, avoid constantly gawking and staring and breaking your neck to see what's going on, if you can do that by yourself, you can do that with your woman. So I would definitely practice that. Real talk, even with your homeboys, if you can, notice and keep it moving and not stare, gawk, or follow her with your eyes, you're probably in a good place. You're on the right path. And the last thing I would say for the physical stimulation, when you have that urge, that desire, you know what I'm saying? However, whenever, wherever that urge or desire came about, I'm not going to get into all of that. You got to rub out that easy one, man. Rub out that easy one. Wait till your woman's asleep. Wait till she's not home, whatever. But rub that easy one out. You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, I didn't even bring this up or mention this, but pay attention to your woman. All that attention that you would give to some other chick that you find desirable, give that to your woman. You understand? Again, this message is for those men who are with the woman that they want to be with. You feel as though you're going to marry this woman. She's the greatest thing since fucking sliced bread. Give her that attention. Give it to her, man. I'm telling you, keeping your woman happy at home, shit'll be real easy for you. I'm telling you, keep your woman happy. Give her that attention. You understand? Keep her ego pleased. Because as long as she feels as though you desire her, you'll probably never have to deal with a lot of those issues that other guys do deal with. You understand? Or she may even be willing to let certain shit slide because it's you. But definitely practice these things, you know what I'm saying? Try these things out and keep yourself, from fucking up your relationship. Especially if it's the woman that you desire and want to be with. If she's worth it, anything worth doing is worth doing right. That's my own little saying that I came up with. I repeat that. Anything worth doing is worth doing right. If being with your woman is worth doing, then it's worth doing that shit right. It's worth putting up 100% effort. If making that relationship work is important and worth doing, then it's worth doing it right. If your woman's perception of you is something that is worth the effort that you put into it, then it's worth doing it right. If you don't agree, then you'll lose your woman. Basically, but that's all I got for now, guys. I just wanted to send this message out. And if there are any guys who have any other steps that they may take or whatever, leave it in the comment section. If there are women out there who feel as though I may have made an error in my opinion, feel free to leave it in the comment section. Like, learn, and subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.